What is your purpose in life? What do you have that you need to do? What do you have that you need to fulfill? What is your destiny? What is your dreams? We venture through life and we go through life and we have ups and downs and doors close and we don't quite understand why they close, and we spend so much time fighting that, regretting that, getting upset, getting mad about the people that done us wrong, the doors that closed on us that we feel like shouldn't have closed on us. We've got to keep in mind every time a door closes, another one opens. You know, sometimes we might have to reach our hand up to the doorknob and turn it, but God opens doors for us when other doors close. And in my experience, God's given me some signs that said, hey, it's time to end this one. These aren't the right people. This isn't what I have for you. I've got more for you in store. And you know, we sit there and we become comfortable. We become complacent. We tell ourselves that, hey, this is a good job. I'm making good money. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And we forget that God placed us on here to be elevated, to move forward. He didn't place us here just to walk around in routine. You know, we have a gift to help people, to reach out to people, to do things for people. And God stretches us. God closes doors. God opens doors. Now, when that door closes, we hear that enemy in the side, those people that are against us, laughing at us. Yeah, that door closed, buddy. That's the best job you'll ever had, man. You messed that one up. We can't buy into that. We've got to understand that that door would have never closed if there wouldn't have been something bigger for us. God may have allowed that door to close, but the only reason He allowed that door to close is to open up something bigger for us. It's up to us to remain in faith and know that God has something bigger in store for us. If we sit there and we grovel and we complain and we, you know, reminisce on how good it was and we'll never get it that good again, there's a good chance we're not going to. There's a good chance that door is not going to present itself to us. We've got to stay ever mindful. We've got to stay faithful. Now, there are some things that happen to us that hurt us, that adversity that we have to overcome, people that talk bad on us. I had a big meeting one time, and I got pretty passionate about my meeting, and I used some profanity in the meeting, but my message was very, very powerful. A person took that meeting and completely construed it and completely changed it to make me out to be a evil, terrible, bad person. I was motivating the people, and it was made out to be that I was degrading the people. And yeah, that's bothered me for a long time, but I've got to let go of that. I got to let that go, and I got to understand that, you know, all the events that took place, all the people that talked bad about me, all the people that tried to push me out the door, all the people that lied on me, all the people that laughed behind my back, that's okay. That's just God closing doors in order to open bigger doors for me. I have to be able to accept that I was meant to have more purpose than that in life. And I am obviously struggling getting to that purpose. And I've said many, many times, I truly believe that God is building me right now for something bigger, something greater. And I feel like I've got to go through some very tough, tragic times. And I've had several people talk to me about a job and obviously impressed, and you know, all my credentials and everything that I had, you know, were just beside themselves. You know, God, you're going to be great for the job. And you know, something happened. They reached out to my previous employer, talked to somebody, and the next day I didn't exist. Yes, that bothered me. It did. But I know that that is God closing those doors to open that bigger door for me, that there's a bigger purpose for me. I don't know exactly where that purpose is at. I don't know exactly where that job lies, and you know, I don't know exactly what my career is going to be at this point. I keep pushing, I keep talking to people, and yeah, it's discouraging. It is. But I've got to stay in faith, and I've got to truly believe that God's going to open that door for me. And I've got to do some work behind it. you know, the work that I'm doing behind it, I'm growing on the inside, my character, my beliefs, my strength. The power that God puts inside of me is growing. And I know God wants me to grow that so that I'll be prepared for this next step. So if I want this door to open faster and I want to speed up the process a little bit, I got to allow everything that God's putting inside of me, everything that God's trying to give me, everything that God's trying to show me, I've got to allow it to come true. I've got to allow it to get into my mind, get into my heart, get into my soul. You know, I've got to be open-minded enough and receptive enough to receive all that information so that I can grow, so that I can be prepared for that next step in life. So I had a guy, you know, I went and talked to him, and I told you a little bit about this, and you know, I prayed and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed, God, please show me a sign, please show me a sign if you want me to drive all the way down 45 to the other end of the world and mess with all this traffic and work 9 to 9 and do all these things, please show me a sign. Well, when I got there and I spoke with the man, there was some powerful signs. The guy was talking about God and talking about sermons and talking about how last Sunday in church, man, everything that I'm talking about is what the sermon was about. And you know, about not too long ago, he had a similar situation like I did, and he found some faith and started going to church and doing some things. And you know, I really believe this to be the right guy. I believe this to be the guy that God put in front of me. And we had a great meeting, and I expected to hear back from him real soon. I didn't hear back from him. I'm sending some messages. I sent him some more messages. I sent him a couple of links to a couple of videos that I did. I thought the guy and I had really connected. You know, I told him that, you know, he and I are going to make a powerful team together. And I believe that. Time goes on, never hear from the guy. Finally, I drive out there and I put myself in front of him again. And he talked to me good, not quite the same way. He told me he'd make a decision by the 12th and then get back with me. Well, today's the 14th. I still hadn't heard from him. I've sent him another text. I had a guy that put me in contact with him. I sent him another text. I haven't heard back from him. You know, I got a choice to make right now. You know, do I just grovel in all that pain and, you know, who done me wrong? Who talked bad on me? Why didn't I get that job? Why did this guy not give me this job? God, why did you put me in front of this guy and have him talk about all these things and not give me the job? I got to sit there and think. You know, maybe God had this guy to talk to me this way to show me that's the kind of people I want to work with. That's the kind of people I want to associate with. And, you know, maybe God showed me that, hey, you know, even though someone talks a good game, they might not be that game. Because in the end, the guy didn't wind up to be what he talked about. So that door's been shut. And that's okay. Because I know every door that shuts, a better one, a bigger one is opened for me. And I told this guy that, you know, there's a bigger purpose for me. There's a bigger plan for me. You know, maybe he didn't know how to take that. Maybe he didn't understand that. Maybe he didn't want that purpose to be with him. I don't really know. I don't have the answer for that. Again, I've talked many times that, you know, when we can't find the answer, we don't have the answer. Why beat ourselves up about it? Why beg for the answer? You know, sometimes the answers just don't really matter. What matters is, what are you going to do now with that information? What are you going to do now that that door's been shut? Are you going to allow that to knock you down and leave you there? Now, it's okay to get knocked down, because I've got knocked down. It's okay to get knocked down and lay there for a minute and grieve and, you know, be in pain, wonder why, but eventually you got to get yourself back up. The faster you get back up, the faster things will move forward, the faster these doors will be open for you. And you got to truly believe that there is a bigger, better door for you. You got to stay in faith. You got to keep pushing forward. You got to keep reaching out to God. You got to keep thanking Him for the good things that's happened in your life. And, you know, I want to obviously thank God for the doors that did get closed on me. There were places where I didn't want to be. The last job that I had, for the longest time, I couldn't stand it. I wasn't happy to go to work. I wasn't happy to do the things that I was doing for the people. You know, I felt underappreciated. I felt like, you my skills and talents weren't being utilized. And I felt like that there was something bigger for me, something better for me. Well, I stayed there and I stayed there and I stayed there and kept hoping for things to get better. And I've done that in a couple of different jobs. And I think each time, God has stepped in and closed that door for me to open up a bigger door. And every job that I've lost, the next door has always been bigger, has always been better, with income or my job responsibility, the knowledge that I gained from it. And, now I've got all that knowledge from those past experiences and those past jobs. God has me going through a transition, if you will, a growth process, getting ready for that new door to open. And I truly believe that's what I'm going through, even though I've been out of work for, 9 months now, 10 months, maybe 11 months I've been out of work right now. It's been a long time now. In the beginning, a lot of that was my doing. I was kind of hanging out, taking it easy. And I started getting out there and really trying hard to look for a job. And I guess I've been trying that pretty hard for about 5 months, and talked to a lot of people, and a lot of good things seemed like they were going to come true, and they just didn't come true. I gotta keep pushing forward. I gotta keep reaching out to God. And, like I told you, I always had God inside of me. I always believed in God, and I'm reaching out a little bit more now, and I'm understanding things a little bit better now. And I always told myself my next gig, my next chapter in my life is going to be my greatest chapter. And maybe that's why I've come to God the way that I have. Maybe I need some help with that. I definitely know I need some help with that. I'm not as strong as I am with God inside of me. And I truly believe that God works through us, and that God puts a strength in us, and then that seed grows inside of us. The strength that God put inside of us is phenomenal, is beyond belief. But over time, we suppress that strength through negativity and different things that happen in life, and doubt that we might have, loss of faith that we might have. It's up to us to grow that strength, to reach out to God and say, God, strengthen me today. God, put the strength inside of me. God, make me do unbelievable things. God, show me that your power works through me. Help me show the world, show the people how God can work through me. And guys, that's what I'm trying to do here. Yesterday I done a video, and it was I think it was a good message, but my strength was a little down. I was hurt yesterday. This guy that I really believed was sent to me, and that I thought was going to work out to be a great deal, let me down. That reminds me that we cannot count on man or mankind like we can God. God's always there for us. Mankind, we don't know if they're true to their word, if what they're saying's, true, if they're lying to us, if they're pretending to be somebody else, if they're playing that crazy politically correct game that, most people play during the interview. Hey, let me lie to you, you lie to me, and then we'll put this thing together based on a lie, and then we'll discover the truth later on. Yeah, I never have liked that deal, and maybe that's why I haven't went to work for some of these guys. I don't want to go to a place and have them tell me, well, it's like this, it's like this, it's like this. And a month later, a month and a half later, I find out it was never like that, because most of the time in a corporate world, you can't go to that person and say, hey, big guy, why you lie to me, man? Hey, wasn't all them numbers that you said you was doing? You wasn't doing them. You never was doing them. So me and you put together something based on a lie. Now, what are we going to do now? Are you going to fix that lie? Are you going to change things? Are we going to do things based on the truth? Yeah, most of the guys will blow you out at that point, man. You got to play that. You got to play that political game with them. And see, I'm tired of playing that game, man. I just want to be who I am, what I bring to the table, what you bring to the table, what you are. Man, let's just deal with reality and deal with the real world. I've had enough smoke blown up my skirt. And I don't want no more. And I don't know, maybe that's why God's closing these doors for me. I want something bigger. I want something greater. I want something that is ran through the belief of God helping mankind out, helping people out, doing the right next thing, and reaping the reward behind the seed that we sow. I've sowed many seeds over the years, and yes, I've gotten compensated, and I've gotten good income out of it, and I've made good money, and you know, I've prospered, but not to the level that I'm fixing to go to. The level that I'm fixing to go to is, you know, an infinite that I don't even understand yet. Like I say, I want y'all to keep watching me. I do. I've really been thinking about some of the things that I say and some of the things that I do here on these videos, and you know, the absolute biggest thing that I want to do is I want to take myself, I want to allow God to shine through me, and through that I want to change the world. As much as I can, I want to change the world. I want you to change the world. Yeah, I think together that we can do that, so we got to make a decision. You know, what are you going to do now? What are you going to do now that all these doors have been closed? What are you going to do now that you're facing adversity? What are you going to do now that all these bills are stacking up and they're blowing up your phone? What are you going to do? Don't go out there and just get that meaningless job that's going to pay you a little bit of money that isn't going to carry you through to your destiny. Wait for that right door to open. Don't go grovel to nobody. I could have got a job from these people if I had got on my hands and knees and, hey, please give me a job. Please, I promise I'll just take anything. I'll take any amount of money that you give me. Please, please. Yeah, see, I ain't doing that, man. I ain't about doing that. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. And if I have to spend the rest of my life chasing this door that opens, yeah, that's what I'm going to do, man. I ain't going to sit there and crawl to somebody and crawl to some man that lies to me and tells me that he's going to give me a job based on all these false numbers that he's been doing, and you know, this is your worth right here, and he don't even know me, don't know what I'm about, don't know what I can do, and I'm going in here and accepting a job that's going to pay me a fourth of what I'm worth, to work 12 hours a day, 12 to 14 hours a day, 6 days a week. Yeah, see, I ain't doing that no more. I'm going to wait. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to be vigilant. I'm going to keep reaching out to God. I'm going to keep asking for His grace. I'm going to keep asking for His strength. I'm going to keep asking for the power. I'm going to keep asking for the right people to be put in front of me, for the right opportunities to be put in front of me. And I'll come back to you soon, and I'll tell you these opportunities that I have found and the things that have changed in my life because of my faith staying strong. And it is strong. It is strong right now. And I do have adversity. I do have problems. And yeah, man, my old mind, like I told you, man, there's a bunch of doubt jumping around in there, man. There is. You know, that's that old enemy creeps in there and goes, well, you should have took that job, boy. You could at least paid this bill or paid that bill. Well, yeah, maybe I could, man. Maybe I could. But, you know, I'd be stuck. I'd be stuck there. You know, why go do something that long every day and hate it? You know, why not have some passion about what you're doing? If you ain't got no passion about what you're doing, how are you going to be able to be the best at it? See, I've always prided myself at being the best at what I do, and I've always done a very good job at what I do. So if I enter into a deal and I don't feel that passion inside of me, I don't see how I can reach my destiny. I don't see how I can reach it. I don't see how I can reach my dreams. And my destiny and my dream is so much bigger than just a job. You know, my dream, my destiny, you know, obviously includes a source of income somewhere or another, but it also includes how to change the world, how to help people, how to reach out to people, how to become a better person for myself, for the people around me, how to elevate people around me. You know, guys, one thing in life, man, you can't get back, man. You can't go back. You can't buy any of it. It's time, guys. You can't get any more time. You know, the time that you're allotted here on earth, that's it, man. Not unless you, you know, maybe you're some kind of multi-billionaire and they got some kind of stem cell research or some kind of fake organs that they can put inside of you and extend your life. Now, that may be coming. You know, but the reality of it is that ain't for me right now. You know, I want to live out what God gave me. I want to live out the destiny that God gave me. And, you know, later on in life, I become a multi-billionaire, and you know, maybe God wants me to be around here a little bit longer. Maybe He'll put me in touch with them fellas that can extend my life. But you know, if that don't happen, I'm okay with what I've been given. I'm okay with the journey that I'm on. I know that journey that I'm on is going to end with an eternal happiness that man can't understand, that I can't understand. Stay with me, guys. Keep watching. Keep your head up, and keep remembering that you're a child, a son, a daughter of the Most High God, and doors are going to open for you. When one shuts, don't be afraid. Don't be scared. Don't let it get you down, and understand that there's something bigger coming for you. That's what I'm waiting for, guys. I love all y'all.